Good afternoon, everyone. I am Apple Macy Sobrera, a Bachelor of Elementary Education student at Stratford International School. Today, I will going to discuss about variance from ungrouped data using working formula and variance from the group data using midpoint method. So, let's begin with variance from ungrouped data using working formula. So, variance from ungrouped data is applied when the number of cases, or Rn, is less than 30. So, there are two methods in getting the variance from ungrouped data. These are the machine formula and the working formula. But in this video, I will going to discuss to you the working formula or the variance from ungrouped data using working formula. So this is the computation of variance from ungrouped data using working formula in an 89-item test in mathematics. So as you can see, our table here is already complete, but I will show to you the steps on how to get or how to come up with this result. So our table has 4 columns, which is first column we have the students, in second column we have the x, in third column we have the x minus mean, in fourth column, we have the x minus mean squared. So, in getting variance from ungrouped data, there are 4 steps to be followed. So, again, in first column, we have the student. So, this is the number of students who take the test in mathematics. So, how many students do we have? So, we have 20 students. So, this 20 will be our n, or our number of cases. Next, in second column, we have our x, or the scores. This is the scores of the students who take the 89-item test in mathematics. If you total all of these scores, we have the result of 1,455. So now, before we proceed to our third column, before to compute the x minus mean, let's apply our first step, which is look for the arithmetic mean by using the formula summation of x divided by n. So, we need to get first our mean. So, this is the computation for our mean. Again, our formula is mean is equal to summation of x divided by n. To substitute, summation of x, which is the total of all score, which is 1,455. Okay, then substitute n into 20 because n is our number of cases, which is 20. Next, let's divide it. 1,455 divided by 20, the result is 72.75. So, this result will be our mean. And that result, we will use that for our next computation, which is to get x minus mean. So, now let's apply our step 2. So, find the difference between the scores and mean, or x minus mean. So, now, x means our score minus our mean. The result is 72.75. So, we will subtract our score into our mean. So, simply 89 minus 72.75, the result is 16.25. Next, 86 minus 72.75, the result is 13.25. Next, 84 minus 72.75, the result is 11.25. and so on and so forth. Just repeat the process. Subtract the scores into our mean to get the value of x minus mean. Next, let's apply our third step, which is multiply the result in step 2 by itself and add to get the sum of summation of x minus mean squared. Okay, to get x minus mean squared, we will multiply this result by itself. So, to get the result, 16.25 times 16.25, the result is 264.0625. Next, 13.25 times 13.25, the result is 175.5625. Next, 11.25 times 11.25, the result is 126.5625. So, and so on and so forth. Just also repeat the process. Okay, after you get all the value of x minus mean squared, add all of this value to get the sum of x minus mean squared. So we have already the result. So we have the result of 1,316.6875. Okay, now let's apply our fourth step. So compute variance from ungrouped data using working formula with the use of formula. So our formula is SD squared is equal to sum of the x minus mean squared divided by n minus 1. So SD squared in our formula stands for variance. And sum of x minus mean squared stands for sum of the square difference of scores and mean. And our n stands for number of cases. So let's substitute our formula using our table. Now, to substitute summation of x minus mean squared, which is 1,316.6875. Next, to substitute n, which is 20 minus 1. So just imagine 20 minus 1 is 19. So let's divide it. 1,316.6875 divided by 19, because 20 minus 1 is 19. The result is 69.299342. So this will be our SD. So that is the step, or that is the process on how to get or how to solve the variance from ungrouped data using working formula. Our next discussion will be the variance from group data using midpoint method. So variance from group data is applied when the number of cases, or Rn, is equal to or more than 30. There are two methods of getting variance from group data in a form of frequency distribution. These are the midpoint method and the class deviation method. Now, I will only discuss to you the midpoint method. So this is the computation of variance from group data using midpoint method. So as you can see, our table is already complete, but I will show to you the steps on how to come up with this result. So our table has 5 columns. So in first column, we have the class limits. In second column, we have the F, or the frequency. In third column, we have the M, or the midpoint. In fourth column, we have the FM. In fifth column, we have the FM squared. So in getting variance from group data, there are 5 steps to be followed. So again, we have the given class limit and the frequency. If you total our frequency, we have this result of 53. So now, next, to get midpoint, you need to get the sum of lower class limit and higher class limit and divide into 2. For example, 112.5 plus 117.5 is equal to 230. So 230 divided by 2, the result is 115. So that is how to get the midpoint. So next, 107.5 plus 112.5 is equal to 220. 220 divided by 2, the result is 110. Okay, next. 102.5 plus 107.5, the result is 210. So 210 divided by 2, the result is 105. Okay, so and so on, so forth. Okay, let's apply our first step now. So first step is multiply the frequency by the midpoint to get FM as shown in fourth column. So to to get our FM, let's apply or let's multiply our frequency into our midpoint. So, 2 times 115, the result is 230. Okay? 5 times 110, the result is 550. Next, 6 times 105, the result is 630. Next, 7 times 100 is equal to 700. So, and so on and so forth. Okay? Now, let's apply our step 2, which is add all FM values to get summation of FM. So, after you get the value of FM, add all of this value to get the sum of FM, which is 4,880. Okay? Now, let's apply our third step. So, multiply FM by M to get some FM squared as shown in 5th column. So, now let's apply or let's multiply midpoint into FM. So, 115 times 230, the result is 26,450. Okay? Next, 110 times 550 is equal to 60,500. Next, 105 times 630, the result is 66,150. Next, 100 times 700, the result is 70,000. So, and so on and so forth. Now, let's apply our step 4, which is sum of the values of FM squared to get summation of FM squared. So, after you get the value of FM squared, you need to add all of value to get the sum of FM squared. So, we already have the result, which is 457,900. Okay. So, now, let's apply our step 5, which is compute variance from group data using midpoint method with the use of formula. So our formula is SD squared is equal to N times summation of FM squared minus summation of FM raised to the power of 2 divided by N squared minus 2N minus N. So we have here the given. So our N is 53. Our FM squared is the sum of FM squared, which is 457,900. Okay. Next, the sum of FM, which is the summation of FM is 4,880. Okay. So now let's compute this. Let's substitute our formula using our given. So now this is the computation of variance from group data using midpoint method. Again, our formula SD squared stands for variance. N is the number of cases. Our sum of FM squared stands for sum of the product of FM times M. Next, summation of FM stands for sum of the product of frequency times midpoint. So, N, the number of cases. So, to substitute our formula, let's substitute first in the upper part. So, N is 53. Then, summation of FM squared, which is 457,900. Next, the sum of FM, which is 4,880, divided by our N, 53 squared minus 53. So now, let's compute this first. So, 53 times 457,900, the result is 24,268,700. Okay? Next, let's compute this. 4,880 times 4,880, the result is 23,814,400. Okay, next, to compute 53 squared, which we have 2,809 minus 53. So let's subtract this. 24,268,700 minus 23,814,400. The result is 454,300. Next, let's subtract this. 2,809 minus 53. The result is 2,756. So now let's divide this into this. So 454,300 divided by 2,756, the result is 164.840348. So that is the result for our variance from group data using the midpoint method. So thank you for listening. I hope you learn a lot of things today. Thank you for listening.